3. Shabbat, Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת, ויהי נפל. Hallelujah, 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 Take it back.
Inclusivity. It's in our DNA here at Congregation Micah. What does it really mean? It's our policy and practice of providing equal access to opportunities and resources for all people, especially those who might be otherwise excluded or marginalized. It's why we welcome those who intermarry and treat all people with equal worth, regardless of their color, economic status, appearance, and/or sexual orientation.
It's also why we provide aid in our schools for different types of learners. History is a constant reminder of what it was like for Jews to be sidelined, ostracized, and targeted for hate. And our namesake, the prophet Micah, teaches us to seek justice, love mercy, and march humbly. So Nashville's Jewish community is showing its support for the LGBTQ community at Nashville Pride 2022. We will have a booth at the festival, and for the first time since COVID, we will be marching in the parade.
Join us, Congregation Micah, Saturday, June 25th at 10 a.m. at the Bicentennial Capitol Mall State Park.
3, 2, 2, 3.
Now we're going to have words.
Yes, we are. I hope that you all sing along. Well, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. הנה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
We're doing well. I think we should just stick with momentum and sing some Shalom Aleichem.
Okay. All right. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shalom Aleichem.
I'm interrupting the song because I've got something awesome to teach that I just learned recently myself. This song welcomes the Sabbath angels in. It asks that the Sabbath angels bless us with a week of peace. And then it says, thank you, Tseidhem, as the Sabbath angels leave. And I recently learned that there is a Sephardic tradition that in some communities, they don't sing Tseidhem. They don't want the angels to leave. So I interrupted Miss Lisa because I was hoping she maybe would stay a little bit longer, at least 1 minute. I'm going to welcome everyone. My name is Philip Rice. They do call me Rabbi Flip. And for those who may be unaware, our wonderful cantorial soloist, musical director, Miss Lisa Famous Silver, is leaving us for better things in Alabama.
It's really not so bad, though.
Is retiring, and we're going to miss her, and she will be with us tonight, and you'll get to enjoy her. And Shabbat Shaban, can we maybe give it up for Shabbat Shaban? Miss Lisa will be with us again next week, so please come hear her again, and we're going to have to bring her in as a special guest at some point in the future. We love it when she delights in the Sabbath with us, and we are happy that you are here also. Micah sort of has a welcoming way about it, and we try to honor the old and employ the new to convey really our deepest desires and to express our thanksgivings. We use song and story and screens and books and English and Hebrew and transliterations, which is really why we support an organization called B'chol Lashon. It means in every tongue or language. And it's actually the name of an organization that gives voice to the racial, ethnic, and cultural diversity of Jewish identity and experience. It's a diversity that has characterized the Jewish people throughout history, and it certainly rings true here at Micah today. B'chol Lashon brings past Jewish commitments to civil rights and racial justice forward into the 21st century by embracing the historical diversity of the Jewish people, and more importantly, the growing mixture and variety of Jews in the world and at Micah. B'chol Lashon advocates for a paradigm shift in how Jews see ourselves and how we are seen by others. Now, we Jewish people are a very multicultural people. We have lived around the world for millennia, and Jewish wisdom has much to contribute to cultural competence, the ability, we know, to ask questions and to navigate difference. So in recent years, amid national protests against racism, many Jewish organizations are hosting Juneteenth events. It's a federal holiday now, and Juneteenth commemorates the end of slavery in the United States, and it's celebrated on June 19th. It marks the anniversary of the announcement of the Union Army's General Order No. 3 in 1865, which delivered the news of the Emancipation Proclamation to some of the most remote parts of Texas. And there, some enslaved people learned of their freedom nearly 2.5 years after Abraham Lincoln issued it. This Texas celebration evolved into a national one, and most recently, one marked both within and beyond Black America. So within the Jewish community, Juneteenth events tend to focus on learning about racial injustice, and they often feature perspective of Black Jews and Jews of color. And yes, we have those here at Micah too. Since inclusivity is a basic tenet of Judaism that we practice here at Micah, caring deeply about anyone who's marginalized, we want to support all Jews and people of color, just as we acknowledge and support gay pride, welcoming any and everyone regardless of their sexual orientation or their gender identity. Looking at emancipation through a Jewish lens allows us to notice similarities and differences between the Jewish exodus from slavery in Egypt and Black liberation from American slavery. Shabbat, for instance, which we now welcome, is a day of rest, something Jewish and African American slaves were not entitled to. And yet, if it took over 2.5 years to learn of their freedom, clearly the narrative is different for them. The sea did not open in dramatic fashion for Black people like it did for the Israelites. So, we continue to work and pray for a day when all will be free and prejudice will in fact disappear from the world. And part of how we get there is by bringing more balance, more light into the world. Tomorrow, the Jewish world will grow stronger because a young man named David Lilly will become a Brit Mitzvah. His sister Emma did it a few years ago. They're veterans. And we're going to ask the two of them and Scott and Kayla, David's parents, to make their way up here onto the bima to really begin our service by spreading that light and kindling our Sabbath candles. I'm going to invite you to read with me on pages 2 and 3 or on the screens behind me. As these Shabbat candles give light, let's put it up there. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. And as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, creator of the universe, creator of the universe. By your commandments we are sanctified as we kindle the lights of Shabbat.
We are going to welcome the Sabbath bride with the words of Lecha Dodi. You guys try and keep up. And at that last verse, I will raise my arms and invite you to rise and turn towards the doors.
1, 2, 1, 2. Lecha dodi, lecha kala, yala, 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 b'nei Shabbat, yikala. Lecha dodi, lecha kala, yala, 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 b'nei Shabbat,
tada shemay rabba. Amen. Ba'al man dibrachute, va'amlif malchute, v'chayachon u'hyomechon, u'chayidiko be'Yisrael. Bagala u'vizman kariv, v'nimeru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach, la'olam u'amei almaya, yibarach. Yibrach v'yishtaba, v'yipa'ar, v'yitroman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitada, v'yitale, v'yitala, shemei dekudasha barechu, le'elam minkol birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechemata, damiram belma, v'imeru, amen.
We invite you to take your seats as we think about Jews of past, present, and future, Jews who've lived in all time and all space. We try to connect with that oneness with the words of the Shema.
Shem kavod, malchuto, leolam, leolam va'ed. All your soul and with all your might, and all these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children. Shall speak of them when you're sitting in your house, when you're walking by the way, and when you're lying down, and when you're rising up, and when you're rising up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your head. commandments and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
The story of the service is one of redemption, which I always say is a fancy way to say hope. Our ancestors arrived on the shores of a sea, and somehow a miracle occurred, and we sing and pray for that miracle to happen all the time.
Ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba 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 bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba 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 bim bam. Mi chamocha, bayamim Adonai. Mi chamocha, neder ba'kodesh. Norati lo osefelet. Norati lo osefelet. Mahal lechutecha, nahu banecha. Chokei Abraham, livnei Moshe uMiriam. Zeyeli, zeyeli, anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba 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 bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba 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 bim bam.
Let all who are hungry come and eat. Sounds familiar, right? Why? Because the Passover Seder begins with the words, "My father was a wanderer." The story of Judaism includes what it means to be a refugee, and this weekend also kicks off World Refugee Weekend of Prayer. Raising awareness of the issues affecting migrants and helping us and the broader community understand what it's like to be an immigrant, this international event has a goal. It's trying to promote harmony and togetherness. It's trying to unite individuals and communities and organizations from all sorts of different backgrounds behind a common cause, reminding us that regardless of our differences, we all share a common humanity. We sing our prayer for protection now, thinking about all those people who do not share that same safety and security that we at times can take for granted.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufrosa
Every year at this service in June, we acknowledge people who have shown our congregation a little extra love. Folks who live with and model integrity. Integrity is the kind of thing that not only Micah, but our entire Jewish tradition values. It's time for the Micah Mensch Awards. Now, annually, we officially recognize the service of two folks. This is not something that you apply for. The recipients are chosen without them even knowing it. And these two individuals have made significant contributions to our congregation. They exhibit qualities that help us achieve our mission. And our aim is to recognize those extra little things that our members do, realizing that their true potential as congregants and as Jews is really worked out here in our community at Congregation Micah. Lisa's going to take over.
There is one person who is directly responsible for getting me involved with Congregation Micah way back in 1995, and that's my very good friend, Wendy Spira. She and I go all the way back to our hometown of Detroit, where we lived in neighboring Jewish suburbs, and although we didn't exactly know each other, we had mutual Sunday school friends. Fast forward many years, and Wendy ended up marrying my good friend and musical colleague, Bruce Dees, who's in the band here tonight, who is a very close friend of my husband, Clayton, so we are connected in many ways. Wendy brought me to Micah in the old disco on Purim, which was, of course, lots of fun, and very unlike the synagogue that she and I both grew up in. So when she suggested that we start an out-of-the-box kids choir, I was in. We had a blast for many years, along with our co-leader, Terry Simon. Wendy has been along with me every step of the way, and when I became the cantorial soloist and music director in 2002, Wendy was my go-to person for everything. When I was organizing the music outlines for the High Holy Day Choir, I learned just enough about Excel spreadsheets to totally screw them up. Typical phone call to Wendy, "Help!" And she'd always say, "Sure." When I needed to put together a choir roster and rehearsal schedule, guess who helped? When I was trying to figure out the best system to put together the choir binders, there'd be another phone call to Wendy, "Help!" And she'd say, "Sure." And the colorful and interesting displays in the hallway, Wendy always spent hours with me putting them together. And quietly, behind the scenes, Wendy is a very good musician. She sings in the choir and adds the domra part to Shabbat Shabbat. You want to hold up and show them the domra? You may not have ever seen a domra. It's a very cool instrument. And guess who has helped me make copies, organize the music, and send emails to Shabbat Shabbat? Of course, it's Wendy. If the musical events appear seamless, it's in large part due to the help and support of Wendy. She's been a Micah board member, served on the HR committee, and the cantorial search committee. Wendy Spira is a Micah volunteer like no other. I'm really happy to present her with this well-deserved Micah Mensch Award. And I'm going to make her come up even though she doesn't want to. Do you want to say something? You can't forget. No, I think so. Okay. All right. Okay. What?
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Number two.
Number two.
Really also a number one.
That's right. Jim Gilmore may have lived to regret his words when he said to me, "If y'all ever need any help, give me a call." I have worked with Jim Gilmore for probably more than 45 years in one way or another. Back in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s, I sang and played on numerous TV and stage shows, and Jim was always working hard behind the scenes doing audio and video production. Our paths crossed many times, even if we didn't work directly together. Fast forward to many years later here at Micah, where we are always raising the bar on audio quality and now video streaming. Since I've been here, we've had a string of audio tech people to run the sound on Shabbat and High Holy Days. Thankfully now we have Misty Lewis on staff. And over the years, we have run into various stumbling blocks when we've tried to get things right. So one day a light bulb went off, and I remembered what Jim said to me. If y'all ever need any help, give me a call. So I did, and since then, he's been hearing from me all the time. Jim has helped us in more ways than I can count. He's problem solved. He's built gizmos that none of us understand. He's consulted with people near and far, and always with his wonderfully dry sense of humor and a twinkle in his eye. When Jim gives us advice, I know it's the best advice, and when he fixes or installs something, I know it's going to be done right. We at MICA are so lucky to have Jim with his many years of top-of-the-business professional expertise and his willingness to put in so much time as a volunteer to enhance our experiences during services and special events. I am pleased to present Jim Gilmore with this year's MICA Mensch Award.
Okay, I have to add something very quickly. You can sit. It's okay. You can sit. It's about you. I wanted to read a text that Jim sent me not long ago when I thought I was getting all tech-like. Before I get there tomorrow, I'll fabricate cabling to integrate a balanced, unbalanced active translator box to properly connect the dBx limiter stereo balance plus 4 dB outputs to the live control auto unbalanced minus 10 dB 3.5 mm TRS stereo input. I wrote Baruch Hashem. And then I just said, I'm going to open the Torah anywhere, and you just tell me anything that you think it says. The truth of the matter is, if you're watching right now, it's because Jim has helped us. If you're listening to great music, it's also because Wendy has helped us. And these are integral things to our community now. And what I think really made them stand out was how little they sometimes can stand out. They are very humble, like we like here at MICA. They don't come charging in. They approach us in very soft ways and say, what can we do to help make you and this place a better place? And we're just honored that you're members of our community, and we hope you will be for a long time to come. Okay, you can clap one more time if you really want. I do like to keep us on schedule, but I also like to share happy things. So nobody has to come up, but if somebody's got something happy, something they're celebrating that we can take into our next song. My parents' anniversary is on Sunday. Where are they? How many years? Oh, 50. Thank God they get married. Otherwise, I mean, okay. Yes. Somebody else. 56 years anniversary. What do you got, Roy? 39 years of marriage. See, these are happy, good things. Yeah, what do you got?
It's also David's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, bar mitzvah, yeah. And his birthday. Okay. Loving it. Joy. Martin, you're looking good. That makes everybody feel happy. What else you got? Double it. Double down. Yeah. Okay. We like survivors of all kinds of things. All right, well, what do you got in the back? Yeah, Jody? Oh, yay, Mom's here. My mom's here, too. And your son. Yeah, my son's not here. What do you got?
My daughter is moving back to town.
All right. Britton Gilmore in the house. Very happy news.
Our daughter.
Okay. Well, we know about when she does the right things, who she belongs to. Okay. All that being said, we're going to take our joy right into our next song. It's Yismachu. take that joy right into our central prayer, I'll invite you, if you are able, to please rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Kohonei HaKol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We always leave a little time for silence for our own prayers of the heart. When you're done, you may be seated. Pause as we always do to think about those people in this community, people you may know of in other communities that are in need of a prayer for healing. We think specifically of Wayne Ritt, of Abdul Ghani, of Susan Ruckman, Sarah Bat Aliza. If there are other names you'd like to mention aloud. take those names into our hearts and prayers, as well as all people in need of such a prayer for healing.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with the washed love, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
In order for the very talented Carrie Tapia, our executive director, to do what she does in directing our staff, we need really solid lay people, leadership. And what we would like to do now is acknowledge some of that leadership. Wisdom is knowing what to do, at least what to do next. Virtue is doing it. And you really can't be a successful MICA board member unless you're like a doer, someone with both wisdom and virtue. So we're going to acknowledge, say thank you to some of our outgoing board members. The very humble Susan Foxman, Andy Saul, and Christy Weimers could not be with us tonight. But their work is actually deserving of very high praise. Unlike the paid staff, they're not compensated for the hours that they have spent drawing on their own personal and professional expertise to really ensure that the day-to-day operations of our synagogue function. Susan is an exceptional attorney. She is humble and thoughtful, and we are so very lucky that she fell in love with Micah. Andy is not just handy. He's steady, and he's wise, and he's a thoughtful gentleman who has helped our campus grow, and he has managed several projects. Dan Grossman, oh, maybe I should wait on him. He's a MICA past president. He has shared his enthusiasm for and love of Judaism. MICA remains really blessed to have your leadership, Dan, but I'm getting back to you. I'm really actually especially grateful to that crowd, not just professionally, but personally as well. They really have stood by their rabbis through a lot of stuff. Christy Weimers, too, she represents us well in the larger Jewish community, serving in the Federation Board, as well as acts as a teacher in our school. There are other people we are indebted to who are here. So Bennett Lieberman's here, and Martin Light's here, and I see Lisa Silver, and Dan Grossman's coming up. Come on forward at this time. Don't hesitate, we'll get off track. Bennett, please rise. Come on. Lisa, you're coming. Okay. Let the camera get a good look at you. Come stand in front. Dan, stop hiding behind the bima. Come in front. Okay. Your time on the MICA board is drawing to a close. Everybody go, aww. Okay, thank you. And we, the congregation and its staff and its other leadership to membership, we want to express our sincerest thanks for your service, because each of you took on duties with dedication and with grace and with menschlichkeit. And you did that by supporting our strategic efforts and by helping us build community, and with that lofty goal of trying to really heal the whole world. There were fundraising efforts, there were security concerns, there was a pandemic. That's not something past board members have ever had to really endure. There were online meetings, which could make it difficult to connect, and yet connect you did. There were some difficult decisions made, and there were some unexpected situations that required thoughtful people like you, because you three were such folks. We're going to miss working with you, and we're going to miss having you members of the board, but we will turn to you again for your wisdom and for your virtue. We look forward to many more years together as members of our congregation. And I say, Yivarechecha ba'atid, I ask that God continue to bless you in the future and in all future endeavors. Everybody applause now. We do have an outgoing gift for each of you. Ask me what it is. It's candlesticks so that you can continue to spread your light like you have here at Micah in the future. All right, watch your step down. Thank you very much. Okay, the world is blessed to have a couple fabulous Zelenskys. There's the president of Ukraine, and there is our own local hero, David, our volunteer legal advisor. David, we cannot thank you enough for all of the hours and the legal expertise that you have provided us, for the continued advice and challenge to continue our social action here and in the larger community. I'm going to invite you to please keep doing all those things. We appreciate it. Round of applause for David, our legal advisor. Okay. Former President George Bush, W. Bush, I don't quote him often, he once said, "To those of you who have received honors, awards, and distinctions, I say, well done. And to the C students, I say to you, you too can be President of the United States of America." And I share that because we're going to install our new board members now, and I checked, they were of course all straight A students. But even if they weren't, we are really hoping that there is a president among you. Okay, incoming board members that I know are here, Stephen Abelman and Richard Barnett and Elliot Echlav and Bonnie Frohl and Gabe Pincus and Larry Foldauer and Richard Stein and Howard Baum and Nick Frank and Shannon Alpert. And those are the ones that I know who are here. Did I leave anyone out who's here? All right, please come forward. Yes, you can. They haven't done anything yet, but it's good. You get to be on TV, huh? It's like, come on down. Okay. It's a good-looking group. We're going to do fine. Okay. The Jerusalem Talmud teaches us that one who engages in the needs of the community is as one who studies Torah. For those who may not know, that's like the Talmud's highest praise, okay? Our leaders enable our community, a holy community, to carry on its work, to be a sanctuary for each of us as we move through the celebrations and often the losses in our lives. To be a congregant of a community like this means to take on the challenge of spreading our light into the world. And each of you has accepted a significant role in ensuring that our congregation not only survives, but flourishes. And it does its best, really, to meet the needs of our community and to try to meet the needs of our strategic plan. We want to thank you in advance for the meetings and the participation and the insightful comments and the gifts, really, of talent and time and treasure that each of you will contribute in your own ways. You have been democratically selected to serve as representatives, envisioning and in preserving the goals and the values of the Micah community. And along with the staff, we welcome your efforts and your ideas to broaden and deepen our community's commitment to education and to prayer and to all of our religious, social, and cultural activities. Sustaining the life and vitality of our synagogue rests in your hands. The ultimate governing authority in our congregation really is the membership. So I am going to ask the congregation to bless you all with me. Are we ready? We ask your blessing upon upon those who have been elected to lead and serve our congregation. As they perform their duties, keep them ever mindful of the high purposes to which they and we are dedicated. Help them to be faithful heirs to those who have preceded us and worthy predecessors of those who will yet to follow. Grant our leaders strength when they are weary, hope when they are discouraged, patience and perseverance when they face any obstacle. May their labors reflect honor upon our congregation and our people. Okay. One more time, we're clapping for these folks. All right, the future looks bright. I can feel it. I thank you all very much for coming and for doing that. We are going to invite you all to please rise as we move towards our concluding prayers with the words of Elenu. Avery, as you're close.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
It's always here at the end of our service that we think about those people still touching us through their spirits. We continue to mourn as a congregation for Norman Heyman, Stephen Cooper, Evelyn Richmond, Arnold Hyatt, Walter Stern, T.J. Cohen, Marvin Oakes, Rabbi Stephen Sager, Father Joseph Breen, B.B. Weinstein, George Hahn, Jerry Glick. We also recall on the anniversaries of their deaths, Sarah Strauss-Lippman, Robert Millman, Nathan Davis, Herbert Jacobson, Elizabeth Hausman, Gladys Itzkowitz, Ruth Crane, Aim Rothberg, Dr. William Bill Watkins West, Jr., Kay Rose, Edward Nichols, Helen Small, Norman Fastow, Martin Lurch, Herbert Fisher, Alan Saturn, Ina Reish Schwartz, Charles Barr Sr., and Alan Stanley Eskin. If there's any names I've neglected to mention or ones you'd just like to say aloud. We add to that list any and everyone who's been a blessing to humanity, and we join together in Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divra kirute v'yamlik makute, b'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chaye dekol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mavarach le'alam ulalmei almaya, Yitbarak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Zikram Nad Livracha, we ask always that their memories live on as a blessing. I'll invite you to sit just real briefly. I'll do the announcements quickly. We got a lot going on. Torah study, of course, happens tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. If you're loving our rabbinic intern, Lily Goldstein, you'll be disappointed you're getting me. She'll be back, maybe. We want to, of course, wish a mazel tov to David. After Torah study at 10:30 in the morning, both here and online, you can watch him become an adult in the eyes of the Jewish community. If you heard the Hatzi Kaddish, you know you'd be in for a good morning. Mahjong, of course, takes place weekly Tuesdays in our social hall at 12:30. Shmooze and Views, our political conversations, continue always 10:30 a.m. on Thursdays in our library. Oh, no. Next Friday, June 24th, will be Lisa Silver's last Shabbat service as our cantorial soloist and music director.
Rabbi Fritz?
Yeah.
Can I interrupt? I just
Well, I'm going to say no. I interrupted your Shalom Aleichem. Go ahead.
I just want to take a moment and just officially thank Shabbat Shaband. We've had such a blast. I think we've been doing this for 5 years. We had a little time off during the pandemic, but we made all kinds of videos during that time too. So thank you for showing up. They're all volunteers. They just do this because they love it, and I think it's really enhanced everything here, and I trust and hope that it's going to continue, but I just want to make sure that we all really officially thank them.
Micah Minis, yes, your rabbis get on the floor with the little ones, is actually going to take a field trip. So if you register, this is going to take place Saturday on the 25th, next Saturday morning at 9:30. Are you going to be there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So for the address, you need to RSVP for us. Haha. Come out and represent the Jewish community at the Nashville Pride Festival, June 25th and 26th, Bicentennial Capitol Mall State Park. You can sign up to march humbly with us in the parade, and there will also be a booth if you want to cover some of the booth with us. They have become an official club. Sports trivia taking place second Tuesday of the month. They're like grown to like almost twice a million now. So come, test your knowledge, enjoy them. I will also remind you that we have a podcast out, Getting to Know Jew. It's fabulous. And lastly, you should check us out on our socials. And if not there, then at least on our website. More information to follow. Okay, we're going to rise for a Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon hinkilanu, zikaron lama'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, למקרא קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim. Take a sip. L'chaim. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
1, 2, 3, 4. La la la.